Right then, folks, let's do a bit more debunking. He's trying to debunk the carnivore diet here. Dr. Amir Khan, he's on all of the media streams, wanting again to put plants at the forefront of nutrition. Another doctor who doesn't know what nutrition actually is.
It's the carnivore diet, and we've all heard of that before. That's not necessarily a new one, but it's kind of coming back again, isn't it?
It's coming back. So I know lots of carnivore enthusiasts are going to come for me for this, but this is not a diet I recommend to my patients nor to our viewers. So it consists of eating animal meats and animal products, so things like beef, bacon, butter, chicken. And what they say is that it will help you lose weight, it will help cure certain illnesses like autoimmune conditions, inflammatory conditions, even diabetes, and even cure depression. These are all the claims of the carnivore diet.
Yes, the carnivore community does report that all of these things are true. It's not that they are just saying it, they are reporting it from their findings. So if they are finding these things to be true, then surely they are true. Why would they report something that's not true? It's not that they say that it cures depression, or that they say that it reduces inflammation, or that they say that it's for weight loss. Those things actually happen.
Lots of them say, well, humans, our ancestors just ate meat, nothing else, no plants. That's not true. Our teeth are designed to be omnivores. Our digestive tracts are designed to digest plants.
Well, he says there that our teeth are designed to be omnivorous and our digestive system is designed for plants. Well, if he went away and just did a little bit of research, he would actually find out that we do not have an appendix. Well, we have an appendix, but it no longer works. And our cecum is very, very small. These are the things that you need to digest plants. We don't have them. We have a digestive system very, very much like carnivores. If you look in nature at carnivores, especially scavengers, you will find that our digestive system is very much like a scavenger. More so than a gorilla or a cow or any of these animals that actually do eat plants and have a very, very long digestive system in order to break down this plant fiber and all of these plant produce. Humans do not have the digestive system to break down plants. Humans have an acidic digestive system to immediately break down meat. He said our teeth are omnivorous. Well, that's a new one I've heard. How do you get omnivorous teeth? But I presume what it actually means is that if you look at our makeup of our teeth, we don't have the canines that other carnivores have. This is quite a popular discussion in the vegan groups and the vegetarian groups, is that you look at us, we don't have massive canines for eating meat. Well, over the course of our human evolution, our biology, you can see changes in the jaw as we change from species to species. Once tools were introduced into human evolution, then there was no longer any need for massive canines in your mouth to break down any animal tissue. We could quite easily do that with a flint, a knife, and we do not chase animals and bite them with our teeth like other carnivores do. The tools, the evolutionary aspect of tools, changed the way our jaws looked.
As well as meats, to be fair. Now, they say people feel very well afterwards. Often they give themselves or small numbers of people who've tried the diet as an example. You will feel well because you've cut out ultra-processed foods, you've cut out refined sugar. That's what's making you feel well, not just eating the meat products. Cutting out plants is not a good idea.
Well, yes, I agree with him here. Cutting out any ultra-processed food, any processed food, cutting that out is going to make you feel better. Whatever road you go down, whether you want to go vegan, vegetarian, whether you want to go pescatarian, whatever you want to do, straight into carnivore, whatever, cutting out those processed foods is going to make you feel better. But that's just not the case with carnivore. Because generally most people end up being carnivore because they've been down that road of cutting out ultra-processed foods. They've been more plant-based and it's still not working for them. So then they've ended up going meat-based. That's where most carnivores actually come from.
When you're eating meats like this, they have a lot of saturated fat in, which can push up your cholesterol, lots of salt as well. If you've got a family history of high blood pressure, heart disease, that's not good.
Yeah, the age-old debate again about eating saturated fat, that pushes up cholesterol. Yet to find anywhere that says that this is true. Eating saturated fat has no correlation on the cholesterol that your liver will make. Dietary cholesterol has nothing to do with the cholesterol your liver makes in your own biology. The cholesterol that your liver makes in your own biology is healthy. You need cholesterol. Your brain's made of the stuff. Your body's made of the stuff. All of the cells within your body is made of cholesterol. Cholesterol is not bad. And you cannot increase your levels of cholesterol by eating saturated fat. There's nowhere, anywhere that says that this is true. So having high levels of cholesterol is more likely linked to having poor diet choices, because having poor diet choices then inflames areas of your cell, your brain. And then if you inflame these areas, then your body is going to be forced to make more cholesterol to try and anti-inflame these areas, to make them better. That's what cholesterol made in your body is for. It's for to reduce inflammation, to try and alleviate the inflammation caused by however you've caused it. And generally, that's poor nutrition.
If you're cutting out whole food plants, so vegetables, fruits, nuts and seeds, you're missing out on vitamins, minerals, but vitally fibre. We need fibre for our digestion.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the one. Vitamins and minerals. We're missing out on vitamins and minerals on the carnivore diet. Which ones then? I'm yet to hear anybody say which vitamin and which mineral is missing from a piece of ruminant meat. Nothing. There is no essential nutrients that are missing from a carnivore diet. Proper carnivore diet, eating ruminant meat, eggs, fish, whatever it be on your carnivore diet, you cannot be deficient in any nutrient, any vitamin, or any mineral. People like to spiel it out and say, oh yeah, but what about all the vitamins and minerals you're missing? But nobody ever says which one, because they can't name it, because there isn't one. You cannot be deficient. And for fibre, it says about fibre, I'm sure I've touched on fibre before. The human body cannot digest fibre. It's indigestible to us. Like what I said earlier about our digestive tract, we've got a short digestive tract, so we have no cecum, no appendix, no extra stomachs to be able to digest this fibre. It takes a long, long time. That's why cows, gorillas, other species that can digest fibre have long interior guts to be able to do this. We do not. We cannot digest fibre. People will say you need your fibre because it keeps you regular going to the toilet. Who wants to go to the toilet regular? Not me. I'd rather not. So the reason you go to the toilet regular is because your body wants to try and get rid of it. Most carnivores will report when they start a carnivore style nutrition, or even been on a carnivore style nutrition for a while, is that you tend to go to the toilet less. And that is because you're absorbing more of the nutrients and more of the vitamins and minerals from your food that you do not need to get rid of waste. But eating fibre produces more and more waste. It actually inflames the bowels on its way through. The main cause of IBS or IBD is too much fibre. We do not need fibre. It's not a nutrient and it is not essential. Humans survive very, very well without it. Even babies don't get fibre. So if fibre was essential, then surely babies would need it. Up until 2 years old, some babies just eat milk and they're fine on that.
And high levels of processed meats and red meats have been linked to colon cancer.
And there's the cancer debate again, and he also says linked, which we know is that he's just taken that from some study somewhere, which has linked it as causation and correlation all together in one. It's basically like saying that ice cream sales are linked to shark attacks because they both happen at the beach. I mean, we know neither of them are linked to either of them, But this is the science that some of these doctors go by. Yes, ice creams are sold at the beach, and then there's going to be more people there when the ice creams are sold because it tends to be summer, so they might go for a swim, which will be a shark attack. So whatever you do, don't buy an ice cream, you'll get eaten by a shark. This particular thing sounds stupid, but that is how they come to these conclusions of red meat causing cancer. It's that a sort of roundabout way that they do it. There is no direct link to prove it that red meat causes cancer. It cannot, because cancer is a manifestation of a cell, generally an inflamed cell, and meat does not cause inflammation. Also, just to back that up as well, if you look back in the archaeological records from any of the human species, we do not find cancer. It's not readily found in all the carbon dating of the bones. So if cancer was a massive thing, if red meat caused cancer, we would find evidence of cancer in all of the bones that we've dug up from the past, in all of the archaeological records of all of the human species. But we don't. Cancer is a new thing. Cancer has only come about since we started introducing sugars and more toxins and more plants into our nutrition.
So it's a no from me. If you want to eat meats, fish, chicken, small amounts of red meat, alongside balanced nutrition, particularly plants.
Oh, he's another one of these balanced nutrition guys, is he? That just screams that he knows nothing about nutrition. If anybody says balanced nutrition, it just screams that they know nothing, because what are you balancing? I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to balance, but it's certainly not nutrients. It's certainly not vitamins, minerals. It's certainly not fiber. I don't know what he's trying to balance. And he obviously says to prioritize plants because that is the mainstream media thing that everybody pushes out nowadays. Any doctor who doesn't research, I'm sure this Dr. Amir Khan, if he went out and actually researched a bit of human biology, a bit of nutrition, and a bit of archaeological evidence from our past ancestors, I'm sure that he would come to different conclusions. But the problem with these doctors are that they are not taught in nutrition and they just regurgitate all of the things that they were told was true in the past and never actually go out and research it for themselves. So it's kind of what I'll urge you to do. If you're listening to this video and you're thinking, I don't really know who to believe here. I don't know whether I should believe the doctor. I don't know whether I should believe human nutrition and lifestyle. Who should I believe? Then I'll say don't believe either of us. Don't just believe it. That's how you got into this mess in the first place. Go out there and research it. Find out as much information as you possibly can. Look at human biology. See what every individual cell in our body needs. Which vitamins, which minerals does it need? There are essential ones that we cannot do without. Do we need fiber? Go research it and find out for yourself. Look at our archaeological records. See what human species have survived on for years. I tell you this now, though. Something that I recently put together is if we was to take the whole of the human species, all of human biology and evolution, and put it into 1 year, 365 days, then 364 days, humans, the nutrition for humans was meat, predominantly. That's it. Yes, we had plants here and there. If you look back through the archaeological record, people will say, yeah, but we did have plants. And you can see, yes, that there were some plants introduced at certain times when meat wasn't readily available. But more often than not, we find evidence of meat, predominantly meat. I'm not saying that everybody has to be 100% carnivore, because there's definitely evidence to suggest that all of our ancestors were not 100% carnivore, as I just say. There were times when our humans, ancestors, had to eat plants. But that was when they were seasonal, when they were available, and generally when a hunt failed or they were unable to get meat for whatever situation they were in. It wasn't at all a predominant feature in their nutrition. The predominant feature in their nutrition was meat. And that is for 364 days out of 365 if you were to condense the whole of human history and nutrition into a year. The last day is still real foods, but it's just us being able as a species to process them, to keep them for longer, and not just eat them straight away as soon as you kill the animal. And then if you go into the last hour of the last day, 365 days of the whole year, the last hour of the last day is then when humans, us now, have for some reason started to predominate plants in the nutrition. Not just plants, but processed plants, processed foods, processed sugars, processed flour, all of the processing that most people eat on a daily basis now, all of the processed food, if you look back through it, all of human history is in the last hour of the last day, 365 days a year. So what does that tell you about what our human actual nutrition should be? But like I say, go out there, do your own research, see which one of us, the doctor or myself, is speaking most truth here.